What up, though? Welcome to another hot episode of POPradio. My name is Miss Cosmo, and I'm giving you hot entertainment, hot interviews as I do every single week right here on YouTube. So today I have someone who's coming in a little different, giving us a new flavor, a new vibe. But I think it's really awesome, especially for what the summer has to bring for us, especially from a music perspective. He's dropped a brand new album, so we're also going to be chatting to him about that. But of course, I do have the one and only J Sax in the building.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
I think for a lot of people, they've kind of, heard the name. They've heard some references. Yeah. And I think especially now, because Amapiano has become such a genre where there's new artists coming out all the time. We don't necessarily know the people and who they are. The background, all of that stuff. So I want to kind of take it back to, where you kind of grew up and who J Sax actually is. So are you born and bred in Johannesburg or Soweto?
Born and bred in Pretoria, Soshanguve.
Pretoria,
Soshanguve, right?
Really? So you also one of those piano is ours type of people, because social people seem to be claiming it a lot more than anybody else in the country.
Yeah, well, but I can't take those flowers now because music is something else. Yeah, you can be from social, but you got the influence from someone from Joburg.
Okay.
Okay,
so you're saying you're from social. Social is mostly like Pedi, Tswana, but I'm hearing a little bit of Zulu. What's the influence happening there?
Oh, I'm Swati by origin.
You're Swati.
Yeah, I'm Swati by origin from Nelspruit, but because I grew up as Soshanguve, and then there's no Swati, I had to learn Zulu eskoleni.
Oh, hectic.
Yeah. So it's either Bengiela in Nelspruit or in Pitori. So I was like, right, like Pitori.
MP's not gonna have me.
No, not anytime soon. So that's when Fundavele is Zulu. But after I was done with school, is Zulu Sami nje vele yasizwa no Pitori. Ngathi siyateka So yeah.
I get that. Okay, so it's actually quite interesting to figure that out, because different hoods have different sections.
Yeah.
You can have one section where they speak Zulu, but then another section where you're fully Pedi, and then there's the Tswana, but then the different influences come in. Really?
Because mina la bengihlala khona kwele the Zulus. Okay. And then kuna le side the Tsongas, the Pedis. So that's why Sotho Shangani Nguni Venda.
Can you speak all of them?
Well, as an actor, I can speak a couple of languages.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea you were an actor. I'm so excited about this interview. Wow. Okay, wait. Let's rewind just a little bit. Okay, so obviously because you're in the hood, you have to understand a lot of these languages as well, because you can't necessarily find yourself in a space abantu bakhuluma ngawe and then babola,
I won't forget it. I used to play soccer back in the days. So la bengidlala khona ibhola, like it's the Tsonga people lap. So they used to confuse me a lot, especially among petty ball. Umuntu athi hayi enhla. Mina ngizulu ngithi athi hayi ehla. Mina ngiyaqhubeka nebhola. Hayi enhla ngiyaqhubeka. Mama ithatha ibhola uyalo. And then okay, fine. Amahlweni manje amahlweni. All right, maybe uthi ngibeke kuye like
amahlweni.
So every time like these people, they used to confuse me like bafethu nithi ngenze so baceda like siyaqabana. Why?
Yeah.
Why bafethu? No, amahlweni it means like phambili. I'm like, oh. And then I had to learn Tsonga because of amachita like ebholeni plus no coach naye umtsonga. I had no choice.
Crazy.
Yeah, but language enginike hard time, it's Tsonga. I won't lie.
That's crazy. But I can just imagine it's a little bit harder because also not that many people speak it. It's easier to accustom yourself to Tswana and to Pedi and to Zulu because those are the most spoken languages.
That's true.
But now when you go to Nelspruit, don't they give you a hard time about your Swati is not dinging the way?
Most of them, they don't even know that I'm from there.
Really?
But masibeka, I think my parents and my brother and my sister from there. When I was born, I was in Pretoria.
Oh,
yeah. So
last born privilege.
No, not last born. I'm the third one. Last born, yeah.
Oh, almost last born.
Almost, yeah.
Okay. What's now, That's interesting. I love hearing how people's background kind of influences the type of people that they are. Yeah. Would you say that you actually grew up in a tight-knit family?
Well, it was very tight, and family it's musicians.
Yeah.
So nkulele, like there was love, there was everything, but it's a pity ukuthi baye bangithathela bona at an early age, so I couldn't express that love anymore. So most of the time I had to be the man, I had to be the mother for the long selenai, and then so
that's unfortunate.
But that let's cut less spend an hour, like it was nice.
So that's your parents. So you lost your parents at a young age?
I lost my parents in an accident, but my father, because bekagula, so the news zangahlali kahle, and then weeks later, and then he left.
That's very unfortunate. I'm sorry about that, but sometimes as an artist, as a creative, sometimes you can take these experiences and kind of work them in your art.
Allow them to break you, or you make something out of it.
So you say family of musicians. Who in your family is a musician?
I would say all of them. They are vocalists.
Oh, okay.
And I used to be a vocalist at some point, but now I can't sing anymore.
Why?
But I can only sing for a theater. Okay, let me say I can sing, but only for a theater. And then for instrument, I angazi ngithathe phi.
Mane yavumbu.
Angazi ngithathe because ekhaya like it's vocalists, clap and tap. Zayoni vele. So mina le instrument ukuthi ngithathe phi angazi.
You know what? I think again as artists, because you have an inclination to something that influences you, you might just then say, okay, I really like this, but I also like how this one sits or whatever. So, the influence is there. And it's nice also to grow up in a family like that, because then at least you've got the support for you to fully immerse yourself into this type of industry.
Yeah, that's true.
That's amazing though, to actually hear that everybody's kind of, so I'm assuming obviously church choir, where you, number one.
Oh, hi, Shem. Tema la mibile cause bogu yophethe la, like bengihlezi ngila right hand man yakhe.
Yes.
Bakashaya ingoma like ufuna mina vele ngizokhifa la.
Yes.
Sebusuku ngiyavuswa baba ithema lakho liyakufuna.
Yes.
Mina ngishaya ingoma vele every time endlini siyaqula and stuff, even at school.
Yeah.
So
then how do you lose your voice if that's you understand that a voice obviously is an instrument. So you've already had the training.
I think
manje
uyilahlele voice yami bengikhoshoza la bengikhuluma but bengikwazi ukucula. And then after matric voice yami yashintsha, now I can speak nicely, ngiyazwakala ngiyabona, even my throat ayisekho buhlungu, and then ukucula lokana kwahamba. And then that's when ngaqala ukukhwela my instrument and nganathi okay fine, let me just find a voice somewhere this side.
Yeah. That's crazy. I never thought that was actually possible, because sometimes everyone says like you are born with a specific talent, so you don't think that something like that can be taken away or can be gone or whatever, or lost or whatever the case may be.
I've never even went kuma doctor ngithi bafethu voice yami ngifuna ukuthi ibe right nani, noma ngele nje say right ngikwazi ukukhuluma, but masengithi ngiyacula all the songs I've been singing echoir, I can't even hit that note. But then why are you trying to then fetch that one when you can do the bass one? Because now your voice is here. I get that one. I'm the one who recorded. Okay. Yeah. So manje masi performer. I want to bafuna ukuzwa that note leyo. I hear you. So ngithola ukuthi it's baf ivale mfana. Angivele ngivale because ngiyabona ukuthi ngiyabhala. Ah man, that's unfortunate. I really actually would have loved to hear you in that type of sound, but you know what? It is what it is. We've got a new talent, and that's what's important. So then what actually got you into the saxophone? Because that's also a very specific instrument. Because most kids when they grow up, especially in a choir, they go straight to the piano. Either piano or a guitar. Yeah. So and a saxophone is very expensive also on top of everything. Yeah, no. Even the service exactly. So how did you get into that direction? Itema lambe ngathanda ukudlala i-disc. So at that time bengazi ukuthi i-disc yakabana until later on ngibone ukuthi yaka Phil Collins, and then u Dave Koz bekayenza ama cover waka Phil Collins. So i-saxophone used to play the very same song sebezidlala kuma vocals, they were playing instrumental as well. And then this one time I woke up, how there was a noise outside, well it's music. Mangiphumela ngaphandle i-brass band yadlula. And in my dlula le brass band is like ngibona intanga zami, even kids younger than me, they playing these instruments. I'm like, hey, ayibo labanye abalandelela mangithi ngiyaphuma oledi langibize, hey woza geza ke ubalandelisa once because angeke uphuma ungageza yabo, because it was morning, I think around 6 a.m. And then okay fine ngabalandelela, mangifika la ngithola vele abadlala ama instruments, and then I chose ukuthi bafethu ngicela ukunjoyina bathi zwakala next week Friday. Then I went bawabeke wonke like pants, all the voicings, saxophone bengekho la. So mababeke kanje lengikhethile alto, and then me playing alto, one day I was able to play 2 songs, but when somebody so yangene line in, because apparently it's like audition before you start playing.
Okay.
And then cool. Manqeda ukudlala, the next event khona abanye sebadlala ama saxophone. Now the sound was familiar to lengizwa endlini always. Then I was like, I want this sound. Ngifuna le. But manje asinayo la uzoyenza kanjani ngithi angazi bafethu, but kumele senze iplan lengizoyithola. And then ngayithola, nakhona mangithola ngithola ukuthi one of the guys besenza sonke music bekayishiye kimi for the night. Mina ngokuphapha ngayivula ngayikhalisa, and vele I was able ukuthi ngidlale, went to UNISA nga-register ama competition as a solo artist, and then I took first prize here beginner. And then from there so mara ngathi saxophone so mara yiyo yami. Yeah, that's how I got to a saxophone.
That's amazing. You know, I really appreciate how certain life instances can actually change somebody's life like that, because you listening subliminally to Phil Collins is what actually then changed your life.
Exactly.
And you didn't realize it at that point, but you're like, you know what, this is actually the direction I need to take. That's so awesome, man. I dig that. So with the saxophone, obviously now you've acquired it, you've won the competition, really appreciate that. But now, how do you get yourself into a space where you're saying, okay, I'm now going to start my way into kind of production and taking this thing to the next level? Because anybody can kind of pick up a hobby. Anybody can then say, oh man, I'm just learning the piano because maybe I just feel like, just want to play at home or want to play at school or whatever the case is. Sometimes you don't even think that's an actual career, because typically we'll always kind of be directed into, get a real job, do the right thing. So for you, what was it that moment where you were like, okay, I'm actually going to make something out of this?
Okay, mina bengispana 9 to 5. I was working, and every time mangispani, it was because of music. There's some competition somewhere, Spani, but you can't go there, baba. It's a short, and stuff. I was like, yazi ngiyayeka Spani. So let's in Spani vele, and then still ngiyayeka. Then until later on, I'm like, okay, fine. If this music thing, that means maybe music is my calling. So what I told myself was, one day I'm gonna be booked like a DJ and a vocalist. So I want to pave this way for my instrumental players, because every time when they're looking at us pet instrument, they're thinking of a band.
Yes.
Maybe jazz or something. So for me to play house was like, it was a big move at that time, because 40 African roots, native roots, 60 hertz. And then after that, I decided, let me just be solo. Whether you were more bookings or what, and then what I did, I made a friend in Botswana, and then I went that side to play with him. Every time I was in the poster, they would ask themselves, and that's when I got to be like in the industry.
Oh, nice.
I was like, I'm gonna pave this thing. One day, I'm a vocalist.
Yes.
But one day, and then now it's happening.
I get that. Oh man, that's such a beautiful story, man. Obviously, like there's other instrumentalists who are also doing very big things within the music space, especially in the house dance music space. I mean, we look at like Mikasa and what Moti's kind of doing. Are there any other kind of influences that you looked at where you were just like, you know what, this person's doing what other direction that I want to take?
In the dance music or
just in general, doesn't even have to be dance.
I think it sound here Liquid Deep.
Yes.
Used to be an influence because the way they used to do Amahon Swabo, and then Mikasa Nabo, like Dr. Duda can play a saxophone, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, so I would see him like go to Kiuntang DJ and wow, it gave me something. And then Umoti myself, and then also ne sound play coffee, because at some point I used to play for Soul Star, and then Soul Star turned saxophone.
Okay.
So he was like, that's why you rock my world. So I was like, okay, fine. The man go turn saxophone and man sing mdlalela. Like born into his buyer from there, and then ngathatha influence from there. Namachita maba producer. They would play saxophone. Even Brazil Africa. Because I used to take his songs here. He used to play saxophone and keyboard. Then I would take those songs and play them sendele bona. It was my way of asking ukuthi bafethu, next time if you have a melody, you can just lace it, call me, I'll come and record.
Because it also sounds so much more organic when it comes straight from the instrument, as opposed to trying to play it on a MIDI, you know, and trying to drag in the sounds onto your computer, which I think the initiative was also kind of is what's pushing you into these types of spaces. But does it take long to actually learn the saxophone? Because as any other instrument, I mean, someone I've done a little bit of my research where they'll say, okay, I learned the piano in like a year, 2 years. Some people say 10 years. I mean, I've got family members who also play the saxophone. Funny enough, my grandfather was in a jazz band. He also played the saxophone. My uncle, my cousin, but they don't do it as a job, obviously. For them it's more recreational. But I never actually sat back to actually figure out how long and how much effort and dedication do you need to put into this instrument for you to actually sound so clear.
I think knowing an instrument, whether it's piano, because I can play piano, I can play bass guitar, I can play guitar as well, even drums a little bit. So I think an instrument, one day you can play it, but to master it, to know how to sound proper, in tune and stuff, now that takes years. And most of the time it depends on how often you practice. Because I used to practice every time I'm schooling, best practice. Every day, like best practice every day. And then Mondays boga my ensemble days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday best practice. Friday beng practice the whole night ke ku brass band esontweni.
Loku rasela abantu endlini. Mina bengizoxosha yo.
No, there was a time I used to take maybe an old t-shirt ngifaka on the bell and then ngena phakathi kwe wardrobe ngipracticela ngaphakathi. Yeah, that story we took it from John Coltrane, because he used to do that. So mangada like mawizwa uzwa ngathi man someone playing music from the phone or something, so awuyizwa like per se. Or as what accept sugu, like it's nice. So but on an instrument, I think to master it takes years depending on how often you play it. If like someone like me, I have the whole day waiting, and if someone who we are sebenza and then makabuya can I practice isikhathi sakhe ngeke ayimaster njengami. So yeah, it depends on that.
That is definitely a lot of dedication and also just a lot of imagination.
Exactly.
Because you must think of other ways. You have to think of other ways to actually get this thing right. But you know what? I think the dedication is definitely all paying off, because I mean, look at where you are right now. But let's kind of, take it back just a little bit. I mean, you mentioned that story about you going to Botswana. Your boy's out there, he's playing, you're also then jumping onto a set. And I remember there was a time where dance music was also kind of growing in the space. Like we've mentioned, I mean, the Mikasa, Liquid Deep, Black Motion was also then coming out and making it like a performance now to say, yo, we're bringing instruments over and above what we're kind of, DJing. What or who rather is that person that kind of you met to get you into the Amapiano space? Because everyone knows, I mean, Amapiano is only commercially viable now in the last 2-3 years. It wasn't necessarily the direction that a lot of artists were taking. So who was it that kind of plugged you into the Amapiano space to then say, okay, this is the guy and this is what we're doing?
I can say myself. Because during the Black Motion era, there was African Roots.
Oh, yes.
I was the saxophonist there.
Oh, really?
So I've been like doing this house music vele since. So since lockdown and then Amapiano wavela, after something Soweto jumped on them, I was like, now it's sounding ifuna again. Now I can blend in. Ngangena ke kuma piano. And then from there, that's when I started ngispana nama out, and then we did songs. And then this one song that we did, Abitoza, I think is the one it opened a space, Ikeless Whisper. There by Abitoza in the Major League. So I think that song in the picture. But I'm the one who said, no, let me jump on this sound. Then ngibone vela machita ngiba text vela bokaba canal. Like I think I spoke to a couple of guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I spoke to a couple of guys. Like,
all right.
So it's just a song that made it to be out there.
Yeah. The thing about playing an instrument sometimes is that you're also kind of bound by classical music. like a classical pianist will say, no, you play it like this, you don't do that.
Yeah.
And then as young kids, you want to play around, you want to fool around, you want to,
just want to
make it cute, make it cool, explore different sounds, take it to the next level. Yeah. How do you as an artist navigate the balance between keeping things very traditional to the core of what the instrument is, and also kind of still being able to be creative and playing around with a new sound?
At first I wanted to play far from the school, because the school like CS channel, it's okay, fine. If the chord progression you playing certain modes, changes and stuff. So ngizamile by all means ukuthi let me not play by the books, let me just play into egimi and then ngibona ukuthi kungaphuma ini. Though at first a lot of guys didn't receive it ukuthi uyadlala but man ngathi soulful like masifuna into ehambako, those leaks like okay cool, it's fine. And then later on amabajumpela to the sound less soulful. That's when they realize okay, actually something.
Yeah,
because of now as instrumentals, me being a saxophonist, if you are a saxophonist as well, and then we are in the same space, believe you me, I'm gonna try to play all the lines, all the pokes, all the what with bangis with very
shy show off.
Yeah, kanti ilave ukuthi amajita like ngibone ngathi since birthday, let me just be simple. Ngidlale something ukuthi mangiyosuka la noma udlalile those lines, only musicians will understand you. But mina, even if umuntu ongayenza music would be like, yo, that guy is so smooth, that guy lo melody loyana like ukage and stuff. So is the lane that I chose.
I like that also, because you're also then showing your creative over and above whatever the classical is kind of then dictating. But there was a chat recently on social media about nothing is actually self-taught, or instrument is actually self-taught. There has to be an element of teaching or learning that has to be kind of involved. Do you agree with that? With that point, or do you think you have to learn from a notebook first before you can actually then say you're an artist like that?
Why? Because I think you can learn, you can be a self-taught, but okay, to get guidance and stuff, you can check kwabanye abantu or YouTube and stuff. But learning it when a self ukhona ukuzenzela, because mina at that time bengana nge smartphone, bengana nexpensive E6100 Nokia. So bengizifundela mina self, and because of ngibuya kuma choir and brass band sidlala tonic solfa do re mi fa sola tido. So if someone acula mina bengikhona ukuzicreatela the melody without someone else angibonisa ukuthi lo melody kanje ini kanje. Some of the notes mina bengizitholela self, and then until Unisa after the competition, because I remember ngathi nginga disappear for like 2 years, and then bangifuna bangithola vele, and then but let's give you a platform yokuthi ufunde. Then that was when bengikhona correct ukuthi lento le bengiyenza, but I was wrong la. But at the later stage I realized no, actually I was not wrong. By the book I was wrong, but mina as a person ukuthi ngifuna ukwenzani, what is it that I want to put out there, the sound, the style and everything, I was right.
Okay.
So I think maybe they should rephrase ukuthi no, you can be a self-taught, but maybe knowing more of it, really you need to learn somewhere.
Yes, there has to be some sort of guidance. I get that. Okay, so you say you went missing for 2 years.
Benguma prospect.
You're doing your own thing.
Like benguma prospect. Fridays is gospel. That's it.
Whenever I see brass bands, like especially in the hood, because that's my only time I actually get to experience them. I never see them at events, or maybe I go to the wrong events. It could be me. But me namang babona, emshatweni, nasemncwabeni, and I'm just like, how? Okay, do you guys know? Guys don't pitch up anywhere else? But it looks like so much fun. Like you guys are coming together. You've got some camaraderie. You are, you're building a sound. You're coming together. Where is that brass band now that you were working with, that you guys were actually all connecting with?
It's there. Okay, the one that I was playing at Kaleni, Iseko, and then ngasuka vele ngayodlala headquarter isevali ikhona, and then from the brass band sidlala nama soldier, policemen, like it's professional. Like sidlala nama professional lapho vele straight abantu abafundile vele, they went to school for music, and then we even opened the academy for the youngsters. Thina masingasekho, like myself, most of the time angisekho. So saxophone say le kanyana there and there. So we had to groom young kids, and then sibafake vele, then they read and baqhubeke, but yona ikhona, like they know it. Abantu baseval bayazi ngeCD Bank Marines, abakudala bayazi ngemaJerman. Yeah, but
that's mind blowing.
Yeah.
You guys need to put on a show, like a concert that where we can see like the real thing coming on, because you know, and I say that maybe because I'm also just a purist myself. I also prefer hearing the real instrument in a sound or in a song, as opposed to knowing that it's coming from a MIDI player or whatever, or some plugin that you've kind of thrown into a song, you know. So I think it's important to also then say, these are the artists we're working with. This is who we're grooming. This is the type of event that we're trying to show. And it's nice also for the kids, because then it gives them an interest, you know what I mean, in this type of a sound.
I think we did something like that because we have a documentary esishutile no offense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, icona like go YouTube. So if you search CD Bank Marines vele, like like we're trying to reveal more of the brass band era. Njengoba ushuthi you don't see it with some events, you only see it in the hood. So we're trying to break that cycle there. No, guys, there's still more room outside, and then we can achieve a lot outside. So we're trying really to move.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. All right, so give us a little bit of a breakdown on your theater background. Obviously, yes, you had your vocal lane when you were kind of doing that, but from an acting perspective, how did you kind of get into that, and are you still doing theater acting?
I am still doing it. We were doing the spoken word show. There's a guy called Tosten Begaenza poetry. So I was organizing a band, no Tebi, no Kuromi. And then from there, Maslogisidala, theater, people would be there watching, and then, but I like to one band, Manudala Kamnandi or something, one actor Kamnandi. And then one guy, one approach, Avelo, which came to Stella, maybe show you to Uzwaga, then okay, I went as a musician. But then acting being in my own corner, because I used to do my audition or my advert. And then from there, there was a music school Konangalap. And then I went enroll only to find my saxophone teacher was my student.
Oh.
Yeah, and he learned by the book, and stuff. So yena what I know, and then nami vele bengifuna what he knows by the book. So masifika lapha watshela vele the principal ukuthi I can't teach this guy, because awuthile ukuthi vele iyangifundisa. So ngcono sithathe yena simlahlele ngapha, and then they were like, yo Jay, ungasabhatela school fees, you attend a sharp fine, but uzobamba class kanje na kanje. Like, okay, cool. And then me being there at theater Monday to Friday, young exposure more to ikolo ezilapana as acting.
Okay.
And then when they were looking for mabayenza musical, bafuna musician, they would go to ikolo. And then mabeza vele bawathumela ku Meniere bena bawathumela kimi. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll organize a band. So masiloku busy lapho, and then that love leyana ye acting vele solo kuyabuya. Then one time this guy bekangekho, we doing a show. And I was like, yeah, no, I'll do it.
There's always one guy who drops the ball, and you have to be ready.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll do it. And also, there was a time, the very same guy, kunala besenzi show corner, a coffee line on stage, and I was there, and ngimphasela like vele walikhuluma kanti direct ubonile and uzile makasuka athi imali sewelo uhlala ekhaya ke sithathele ama musician ke ba act ke because bona ba remember everything. Yabona, I was like, but it's not easy because of ukukhumbula ama lines and the directions. It's two different things. Thina masingale sikhumbula ama lines kuphela, bona kumele bakhumbule ama direction, proper yipe kumele isebenze nani movement. So I was like, yo, but yeah, that day bekangekho, and then I played that role. Then bangibona vele sharp fine from lapho baqala typecast again because of bathanda saxophone. So ngaqala uku-actor nge-saxophone. They're like, yeah, no, uyaza we are actor. When at the back of your head, you just know what you miss your wife. So every time afuna ukukhala, you just take out your saxophone, you play. That was the story.
So you were the sad guy every time.
Only to find ukuthi the more we practice, we rehearse. Sekuvela nama-lines manje, how him lo esenyabulisa lapha yana, how I am Mr. Moa, what in, hey, bani bayangibuza ukuthi ukuphi, hayi ungali ini, how, so we script kanjalo, and the agreement was like, guys, ngicela ninganginika ama-line, angifuni ukuyenza this thing, cause angikho fit enough, like angiyange escale sa this thing, director lo, angazi kahle ngizambonisa lo.
But you haven't...
Wanginika ama-line as we go,
yes.
Only to find ishow mayiphela, when they asked ukuthi, who's the lead actor? I was shocked. The storyline, it was me, but mina bengazi kuyilo lo velo sposako and stuff and the story was about me. Mabalo bakhuluma lapha ngibhekane synopsis, man, I'm like, hayi bo muzimla ngithe lo muntu utrickile, and then from then vela azange abheke emuva, and I went.
You know, there's some people who are naturally born talented, and they can just use whatever comes to them at that point in time for them to express themselves creatively. Just like you did with the saxophone, where you learned with your ear. Sometimes you learn on the job, you learn on stage. You know what I mean?
You know, and after vele like uthi ngingastopi le story sakaStumo. Yeah, yiso singibambile because uStumo used to be a cleaner.
Yes.
Nah, same thing, one guy, and then what he said to ungena, and then boom, nango uStumo wabe. So I was like, yeah, maybe I'm the next Stumo, so thing no hlala vele, and then ngahlala.
Okay, so what productions are you still busy with now?
Currently are on hold because one of the actresses Laubesi Sevens and I were abroad ageko, and then they busy with other shows born, and then director like Les Sevens and I sometimes when the show yabafana kuphela, sometimes when amantombazana kuphela, sometimes mix. So uya ngama season ukuthi okay fine manje a theater like from August there's an event about Vavasati, so it's women vele, so be busy ngayo now, maybe later on because ngibone a group chat inaqala ukukhuluma nyana, maybe izobuya I don't shoot and then it's only guys, so maybe izobuya lapho, but otherwise busy ngama ads, ma advert vele, like recently I just shot my Kellogg's.
Okay.
Yeah, so busy ngazo vele.
Nice. You don't see yourself getting into like a telenovela, you know, playing a different type of character, not necessarily. Next time you go to an audition, leave your saxophone at home.
Yeah, actually.
And just say, I want to be a thug or something. I don't know.
No, nyayenza ni.
Yeah.
Nyayenza, like I would audition for a role vele, like nida vele, like faga vele whatever, skelemo whatever. In only to find director, manje saxophone wishiva. I'm like, how? Like le role ngidlala kile athi no, it's fine. Angisho mophuma off stage, backstage. Uzocreate le script sokuthi wena la sikufuna khona ukuthi saxophone idlale ku the play, uzoya backstage. Ibe ngathi maybe bolande something uyadlala uyabuya. I'm like, oh, Nkosi yami, it's fine. But le iyenzeka ku theater kuphela. But lezi zama soap telenova and stuff, most of them are with nyadlali saxophone, so that's the beauty of it. I
think you do get to a point in your career where you've proven yourself enough on stage to then say, guys, I appreciate that this is what you enjoy about me, but please, because that's how a lot of actors find themselves in one box for the rest of their careers. You become typecast like that because that people don't want to think further than you're giving them too much work by saying they must think of you in a different direction. So you also have to own that narrative and say, guys, I want to try something new.
Well,
challenge each other.
Guess what? How much is it? And then ngathi mangithatha vele plus bengifuna ukwenza overall service. Noma bangathola ukuthi vele bengifuna overall service imali yabo. It's fine, bengaphukanga. Then mangathi mangisa vele uHenning wangenzela i-quotation, it was 4.450. And banginika neyokukhwela. Bathi yabona thathi ihambisi. Ngayihambisa bathi ubuya nini ngathi after about 2-3 days bathi it's fine sizoyilinda. Meanwhile, okay, let's rehearse. La kumele udlale saxophone khona and then we just hum. So that we get used to ukuthi okay langena isound, you know, so
that's so tricky, man. It is so tricky.
It is, yeah.
But you know what, I get it, but in the same breath I feel like at some point, you know, you also need to then take control and be like, guys, you know, there is a different side of me, let's see how we can kind of attack this thing. But it is what it is. It's part of the industry, I guess. It's part of the industry. All right, so you now as an artist or like a musician, you have positioned yourself as the instrumentalist that you want to work on a lot of amapiano songs. Is there one specific feature, one specific collaboration that you finally got that you were just like, yo, I don't know if I'm going to get this. I don't know if it's going to happen. Maybe it was delaying. Maybe you were just wishing on a star. I don't know. Is there anything like that actually happened where when you got it, you were thankful?
Yeah, it did happen, Yenzeke ngo Kelvin, Momo na ngo Kabza.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Momo vele like, cause vele bekaloku angitexta. Okay, I knew ukuthi okay, maybe in the long run izoyenzeka. So ithi ngajaha. But lebe ngifuna bukuya ka Kabza. And then after makangibiza isiyenza the track ufunani on the Konka mixtape, it was like, yo, finally. Like finally.
I did it.
Yo, nale yaka maporisa, but then I don't think seyenzekile because of uso metrics we ozegimi. And then we worked on it to find ukuthi uspana no maporisa on that project. But as long as upura ngezanga kimi team mfethu want you like akayenzeki yabo, so like khona abantu abanjalo, but yaka Kabza it was the main one. So it's at my phone and I was like, yo, finally. Like ngayeka yonke into bengiyenza. Ngayeka yazi ngaupara ngahamba.
Same time.
Mangifika vele we worked vela ngabuyele move. I was like, yo, bengathembi. All the way home like bengathembi. Ibile ngisho ne Uber driver manje sokumngane wami like ngimcocele the whole way ukuthi mfethu. Like yazi ngivela apha athi chu la uvela khona ngingalanda ubani akusikukabza. I'm like, yeah dog. Athi yo, so wena wenzani? Ngithi baba yayibonda yini yimi saxophone none in. Hey, sengimdlalela nengoma. Oh, uwe, must I know your name? Wow, mfethu, nice to meet you. What in, but still bengamuzwa shemina. I was there with you. Kabza mfethu.
The poor Uber driver was ignored.
Yo, I was there with Kabza mfethu. That mara must mfethu now must you. You're a big guy, man. You're a big dog in this industry and stuff. Show music wako like I'm like ishbafonyakuzwa. But yabona le. And then I think after 2 days that's when I got to realize actually makhuluma kanje. Yeah, well, at some point I have to carry myself as one of those, and then maybe I would get more guys labeng funa ukuspana nabo. Yeah.
I mean, it's testament to the project that you've actually just released now. I mean, Tatiana's finally out. And you've been working hard on this album. Tell us a little bit just about it, about the name of the album, some of the features on the album, and the direction you were kind of taking.
So mina ngkhula vele. Even nasendlini, we used to name things. If unemoto, I name. If une instrument, I name and stuff. So Tatiana is the name of my saxophone.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so it had mangim to level. I was like, okay, Tatiana, right. So now mangitinya drop a very the album like Slezi Panti no seal, and we were thinking, okay, what is it? Like na myself in this buzuting funuguz Brenda S. What kind of an artist? My project in your drop, vele, even after 5 years, no, I chose it, vele, so Slezi Pants, and I were like, okay, it's fine. So since the saxophone was the in thing in my life, might as well just dedicate this project to my saxophone. So hence, the project is named Tatiana.
Okay.
So it's a dedication to my saxophone because
yes, 100%. Okay, well, a little bit of the direction of the album. How did you kind of put it together? What was your thinking or the journey that you were trying to take us on?
Actually, mangakuzwisa all the tracks. Now I don't even know what kind of direction I was going for.
You're just like, I like this one, it's on. Like, I like this one, it's on.
No. At first thing is panen abo Freddy K, abo Viacro, abo Caltonic, so it's different sounds. Abo Zen10, so it's kune scoop, kune less soulful, kune less very like. So I wanted to explore, like all the. But in kune scoop, kune skicha, kune foot package and stuff.
There's so many.
Yeah, so then tata everything, like maybe two songs, it's in one project, and then you keep, and then maybe the general is a pusher, and then that's when I would know okay, fine, mina kahle ngila.
Yeah.
But then as we went by, more collaborations, ABC Zenza, and then Baba Soulful, and then I realized no, actually my sound, it's more on the Kelvin Momo side. Because Mangala, these kind of songs like Abu Fool Me, Abu Funa, that's where people get to receive me more. And I was like, okay, fine. And then some I gave it to Amachita Lawe Velesi Zenza Nabu. And then bus drop, and then I decided to go to okay, fine, let me just be on this soulful, because there I can be able to voice out. And then konkuluma go to okay, fine, my journey is like this song, okay, title like ona maiganje, mina the melody lobe nguzwa, my title is mecha kanjani and stuff. I can be able to voice out, but magona lama lock drum la eish nizwa ngathi ngiyazibulala.
Yeah,
because bangifonela machita like bangifonela bayang-DM and stuff, and then masengizwa like music abawenzayo like anyabona ukuthi bafethu anyodlalani la already nje ingoma seyiqwele bese nyavela mina baba ngifuna ukuba that guy bathi yobeka yapi mosha ingoma yabona. So
I appreciate that because not everybody can say no in situations like that. Sometimes you just have to take the executive decision for yourself and for the betterment of the song and say, the song doesn't need me. But it's not to say I don't want to work.
I don't want to work.
Let's figure out another one.
Else, because me myself, I can't say no. Really,
those kawatas.
Yo, Josh Leslie last week, Uche, uyayiphendula ifone, mara angeke afike. Especially if I know ukuthi it sound like say yami. Ngizoyiphendula. Mngani wami ithi ngizabona ukuthi ngizovela nini and stuff. But masengiwana I'm like yo angeke. So I think maybe it's a nice way I'm fit to not lay.
It's not even a nice way. I think it's important for you to actually just say, yo, you know what? I see your vision with this song. I don't think it needs me. But let's work on another one. And people will be open to that because then at least you're saying, let's try something else. Because not every song will resonate with anybody who's in studio. I mean, I've experienced that a lot as well. Where you've come in, you've got this big idea and you're like, I want you to do this and this. And then they're like, not that one, my sister.
Not make sure.
And then you just gotta take it on the chin, be like, you know what, if you're not feeling it, then I don't want you on the song. We can work on another one because I want you to be able to enjoy the song when it actually releases. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Because mina ngiyashintsha shem. Ngivele ngithi ngicela ucime 1 2 okay fana sifake ipad nyana elithi record and then masiqeda that's when ngidlala and then ngiyazi masengiqeda chances are lezi zinto engithe uzicime angeke usazibuyisa.
Exactly.
Angeke usazibuyisa. Izonohlala khona lapha and then sharp isigubhu noma singarasanyana lephambili or sashintsha it's fine. It's fine.
Do you see yourself getting into Afro house, 3-step? I mean, that's the new direction where dance music is going in South Africa, and it's obviously also very melodic as well. And there's points where you can kind of fit into those types of spaces. Would you dabble in that space as well?
Yeah, I think I can. I think I can because Afrotech namanje ngisayenza like abo DJ 40 abasahlezi kuleya sound. So ngisahlezi nabo that's ama feature and stuff. So now 3-step it has more room for ama melody because since bahlisa the BPM it allows the melodies with the flow and stuff. So and then already ku Heavy K the project azoyidropa ngikhona ngaphakathi it's 3-step nayo. So
Oh, that's amazing. I can't wait to hear that. I love Heavy K. I love his
I know he cooked it there.
Is he back in the game?
How Peggy?
Now Peggy.
It's
fine. We'll bring him in. He'll talk about it himself. Don't worry about that. But I take that, man.
I'll jump on 3-step. It's nice. Like, yo.
Okay. Your favorite song on Tatiana, the one that when people are finished watching this episode, they must go back and press play on that specific song.
For me, it's Imali.
Okay.
It's track 4, Imali.
Yes, I was actually listening to it on the way here. I think it's the one with the vocal, ne?
Yes. It's Imali. Cause that song, and then the second one it's Ibachele.
Okay.
Because we all went through that phase. Now we should pull mara, you wanna see yourself ule na Miss Cosmo and stuff and then vele masofile starting finally it happened. So those 2 songs.
Oh, nice. So that's the inspiration.
I don't know which one le, but both of them inspiration yakon. They're on the same level.
That's dope, man. You know when you perform in clubs, I remember when I saw you at Propaganda that day. Now Propaganda is a very loud venue. Even for me as a DJ, sometimes I get there and I'm like, yo, you can't hear the speakers, you can't hear the monitor, it's loud, there's a lot of people, the space is huge, so everything is just bouncing back and forth. And I think for us as DJs, it's easier for us to kind of maneuver because we've got the monitor speaker right next to us. We're just like, hey, I must just listen here, I mustn't listen to anything else and try and mix from there, you know? How do you kind of navigate in a space like that where you now have to also take center stage? Because 9 times out of 10, when you're at a club, people just want to get drunk. They don't want to look at you standing there with your instruments, trying to be serious. So you have to command your energy on stage. over and above that, you must be audible.
Yeah.
How do you manage all of those challenges, especially in a club space?
I think I just pick one person from the crowd. And then once ngibona ukuthi okay noma ngibhekile untanga vele ukimi manje ungaya the energy yami isayida. And then once respond back kuye naye I let her back omunye naye khona uphika ukuthi untanga okay fine this and this, so le performance ngi manipulate nga that angle. And then when it comes to sound, cause ku brass band sidlala without the mics, speakers and stuff. Yes. So if umuntu odlala ibass ule phambili and then lo odlala trumpet ule move, like I think I would say maybe our ears are trained to silalele. Yeah, it's all. So even if on stage, even that day propaganda, I wasn't playing, by the way. I was not even on the lineup. I just saw you there and I was like, oh wow, yeah, always papa, and I was like, let me just play 2 songs and then but next and then that's when I jumped on Vale. Sometimes now very sound yabo maulapa stage, it bounces more than say more DJ booth, because with DJ booth at least you can rely on the monitor. Yes. But ngapa awuzwa next. So I just have to separate somehow angazi ukuthi separate kanjani hearing yami ukuthi iyele ku monitor li. Yegu monitor and then maya ku crowd the way bounce ngakho.
You'll figure it out. And I think that was the thing that because I saw I looked at you and I was like, he's either really good at what he's doing or he's struggling on stage. Because I just looked, I was like, how is he hearing what is going on? Because it's a lot that is going on. You know what I mean?
So I just like no channel and it depends on venue ukuthi nguphi ama-acoustic wakhona anjani. Then at least like couple of venues sengijwayele sound yabo, like naye as propaganda sengijwayele vele ngiyazi ukuthi okay la i-echo, and then ngiyazi ukuthi sengizotshela uDJ vele uthi mngani yaza ngisho uhlisa le ya treble or what in, and then sesiyaya.
You know what, it takes a lot of practice, it takes a lot of experience as well. Okay, so just for the general growing of instrumentalists in South Africa, because I do think a lot of kids now are trying to go for like the fast cash, the money, and the money is usually in either DJing or producing or dancing, something that is TikTok today. Not everybody is trying to get into music. How would you kind of influence, or how do you think you kind of influence those young kids who are growing up now to then say, you know what, I want to play an instrument like this and this is the space that I want to be in, to also motivate them to kind of keep that pure part of music?
I would say once they start playing instrument, doesn't matter what kind of instrument, they shouldn't be afraid of asking other instrumental players who are already out there. Because now myself, I've been asking I've been asking a couple of people in this case, if you want a quick cash, maybe also enhance the thing, your instrument, and then try to find maybe artist one maybe my instrument, and then just be part of a band and stuff, and then from there try to grow vele ukhulu ubona ukuthi ungakhula kanjani yabona. But once you start ungayeki and don't be afraid to like text that Jay mfethu nami recently ngicela ukudlala instrument kanje what are platforms maybe engazihamba ama channels and stuff, ngizokutshela like la ukuthi vele kuyahala khona, ngizokutshela ukuthi hayi bafu la kuyahala, but the easiest way is to hamba le ndlela le and then uqhubeke nayo, and then when you find someone else nakhona still unganombuza, because I might influence you, but you might love the sound yaka someone else. So now if you attend the sound yake ukhona ukumbuza, maybe impendula yake, it can enhance whatever that I gave you. So
that's beautiful, man.
So the most important thing, don't be afraid to ask.
So important. All right, so December's here, the album is out. Do we have a tour in mind? Where can we see you? Where can we catch you? Where can people experience you live?
Currently I just posted something on Facebook which venue ebafuna ukungibona kuyo, because ngifuna uqala vele nge-album tour. So ithema ngibona lapha ngiyabona Kurumani, awu Rustenburg, awu Taung, like
that's where all the brass bands are. That's why. That's where all of them are. They're all in Kurumani, they're in Rustenburg, they're in Taung.
So I'm like, okay, fine, cool. That means album tour vele manyo iqala kumele ngihambele vele those places.
Yeah.
Because maybe abantu that they wanna see us. Some of them they don't have the privilege ukuthi bangaza ngapha eJozi. So I think maybe I should take the album to their hood.
That's awesome. I like that because you're also then spreading yourself throughout the rest of the country. You're exposing yourself to other people. And who knows, you know, when the second album comes you'll be taking it to the rest of the world. You know what I mean? I dig that so much. Where can people follow you on social media?
Social media is JSaxSA everywhere.
Yes.
JSaxSA everywhere.
There you have it. JSax everywhere.
Yeah.
JSaxSA everywhere. Okay. All right, thank you so much for joining us here on Pop Radio. Really appreciate you. Appreciate your time as well. It's been a really awesome time kind of chatting to you, getting to know you a little bit more, and hopefully we'll have you back again and we'll just, you know, break down a few more things that are happening in the industry.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, man. And thank you for watching. Keep on liking, subscribing, commenting, letting us know exactly what you like, what you don't like, who you want to see, who you don't want to see. And of course, that's me, Miss Cosmo, here on Pop Radio. Check you next week.